with a couple more West Virginia players receiving scholarships since the season began, it's time for another West Virginia football roster update here on the Country Roads webcast. Let's go. What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? Jordan Cruz back here with the Country Roads webcast. And before I get into this video, just want to give you guys a quick reminder. If you would do us a favor, hit that like button. Giving us a thumbs up on this video will really help its performance and future videos performances here on the channel. And if you're a West Virginia fan and you haven't already, be sure, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. It'll help us and it'll help you as it helps get more of this Mountaineer sports content out to Mountaineer Nation. Having said that, let's get into it. All right, as I mentioned in the cold open, didn't expect to do another roster update during the season, but we also knew that West Virginia had 2 scholarships remaining to give out, and West Virginia has done just that, awarding one prior to the first game of the season and another following the second game of the season. So let's go back to prior to the first game of the season, where West Virginia awarded a walk-on A scholarship for the first time in 2023. I've got videos on both of these incidences for the Mountaineers. Let's go here to the first time this happened, and I'm going to share this clip with you guys.
So reveal yourself, sir. So today we got a special presentation with a big crew. For you guys that don't know, this is Caden Beiser's father, and Coach Beiser played right here in West Virginia. So this is the first time he's had a uniform on, and today he gets the opportunity, and Caden's whole family Caden's earned a full scholarship.
So there you have it. Pretty awesome. Love those clips when players earn scholarships. And linebacker Caden Beiser, who we've seen get reps as the Mike linebacker as a reserve for Lee Coba there last season, has been awarded a full scholarship for the Mountaineers. So that's one of the reasons that we have this September 12th roster update coming at you here on the Country Roads webcast. And the other reason, I'm sure you well know following the game against Duquesne, but here's the clip in case you didn't get a chance to catch it. Neil Brown awarding Hudson Clement, the West Virginia wide receiver, a scholarship following his performance in Game 2 of the 2023 season.
Hey, and second thing, all right, really the guy that got us going tonight, all right? Well, yeah. Hey, he got us going. Hey, and listen, he's going to get in here, and we'll let him and Garrett sing tonight. But Hudson Clement, he earned himself a scholarship.
You love to see it, and what a performance by Hudson Clement there to earn that scholarship. So let's take a look at our updated roster as we try and continue to track it here on the Country Roads webcast, as we now have the full addition of scholarship players. The full allotment has been given out now. We had 2 remaining. Both those have been gifted to Hudson Clement, who I will highlight here at the Z receiver position. You saw him get the start there with Devin Carter and Traylon Ray out against Duquesne. And then we can scroll down here to the defensive side. I'll try and slowly scroll for some of you guys that may not have been following along with our WVU football roster updates, but encourage you to continue to follow along the channel for these. Although there most likely will not be any more this season, as soon as the offseason hits, these updates will be coming as more scholarship players are added to the West Virginia roster, be it recruits, transfers, signing, whatever. I do these roster updates. I believe I started them in January or February this offseason, so you can see 8 months or so of roster updates if you go to our roster update playlist here on the channel, as I highlight the other addition to the West Virginia roster there, Caden Beiser at the Mike linebacker position. But I'll scroll through here the remainder of this roster so that you can get a look at it if you haven't had a chance to see it on any previous West Virginia roster updates. And the one caveat I always like to throw in here is obviously these are only the scholarship players that are on the West Virginia football roster. I do not include any preferred walk-ons on this list. So you only see players that West Virginia has on scholarship. Just makes it easier to track and keep up with. But there are some preferred walk-ons that have been helping West Virginia this season. You've seen them on the field. Guys like Luke Hamilton, who is the fullback for the Mountaineers, has been out there on several snaps this season. And of course, Hudson Clement was one that we had talked about, but now he's on scholarship. So Just because a player's not on this roster doesn't mean you can't see them play on Saturdays for the Mountaineers, as West Virginia has been utilizing some walk-ons to help them. But overall, these are the main guys you'll see, and these are the scholarship players on West Virginia's roster, the full 85 now that the Mountaineers have lined up here after our September 12th roster update here on the Country Roads webcast. So there you have it, Mountaineer Nation. 2 more additions to add to the West Virginia roster there. Awesome stuff to add both those in-state guys to the roster on full scholarship. Linebacker Caden Beiser, and of course wide receiver Hudson Clement. And hopefully they continue to contribute and help the Mountaineers find success throughout this 2023 season. But what are your thoughts on their additions to the roster and the West Virginia roster as it stands in general? Be sure to let us know down in the comments. We really appreciate those interactions as we continue to try and grow the Country Roads webcast community throughout Mountaineer Nation. Having said that, as always, I'm Jordan Cruz, and until next time, let's go Mountaineers.